Peace, family. I want to share what's going on in my life right now. Woke up early this morning, had to get the trash out. I guess it's maybe about 9:30 now. We got up about 6 o'clock this morning. Went to the mailbox, had a letter from the State Department on the status of my wife's visa application. That in itself has been a journey. Roughly 10 years ago, was feeling bad about living in the United States. The economy was on a downturn. Job situation was not the best, but still, I know how to survive. I know how to make it with my hands and make it with my head as well. So I embarked on this journey to be a ESL, TOEFL lecturer, language instructor. Long story short, had received offers from Gulf nations, Qatar, Saudi Arabia. Went through all sorts of issues with visa. Just really felt like the world was against me. I'm not a felon or anything like that. I think I may just have a gun charge. After a dog got after me, I made sure I had kept that pistol with me. But at the time, Georgia was not a state where you could carry a firearm without a license. So that made the visa process a little bit difficult for me to go to Saudi Arabia. In the interim, got a position in Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, West Africa. Didn't really pay nearly as much as the Gulf nations, but I love Africa, and I went. Needless to say, I found my bride and my true love while I was there. We had a baby together. Got married, first in the village and then at the mairie, which is, the equivalence of a courthouse wedding. That was the initial wrong move. I went to the embassy in Abidjan, and they suggested that we get married, legally. Went through the process. I got a certificate of eligibility to marry, extrait de matrimony. And the process as a married couple is so much different than the fiance visa, which is easier. I didn't know that. So as man and wife, mother and father of American citizen, started the visa journey. First hiccup was in Abidjan. They said, oh, you have to go to Ghana. Contacted the American embassy in Ghana, and the embassy said they know exactly what the process is in Abidjan. So it was very difficult, to start the process with the USCIS and then with the State Department and so forth and so forth. The visa process is really set up for if you're in the United States and you're just, trying to get your wife or your spouse, your spouse, to get them over here. So, due to some family issues, parents aging, my father, he went back to the essence. He passed on. So I came back to the United States a little bit before COVID, entered into a HVAC program to just get certified for something that I had been doing with a friend of mine. In get it mode, I get it as a plumber and get it as an HVAC technician. I'm certified in HVAC, but I'm the son of a plumber. So I grew up, a plumber's son, I plumb some. So, establishing residency and financial requirements for the visa is not an easy task. But like I say, this morning I went to the mailbox and I received some bad news that the visa application had been denied for inactivity. I know that it seems as if I'm jumping around a little bit, but during the COVID crisis, the visa center was closed. So that became an issue. Filing documents. The system was set up to receive documents, some Internet Explorer version that is older than what's on American computers. So it was difficult to upload those documents. Got the materials and uploaded the documents, so forth and so forth. I didn't sign one document, so that was a holdup. But subsequent to COVID, my home had to go through some repairs. Had an issue with a insurance company, the one that is supposedly your good neighbor. Had been a customer of this. The policy holder was my mother and father, and he passed away. Had been paying this premium for 35, 40 years. Had a water leak. Found the house to have asbestos in it. So we had to move out of the house for what I thought would be maybe 3 weeks, 3 weeks at the most. But this process wind up lasting, and it still hasn't been totally reconciled. Was out of our home from Labor Day 2022. Was in the hotel till January 1st. And then State Farm, well, your good neighbor, wouldn't pay for our lodging anymore. So January, we relocated. To my uncle's place. My uncle is a retired airman. In his age, he's declined, to be able to take care of himself. He can't take care of himself. So we take care of him. Roughly around March, just paid for the services, to get back in our house out of pocket. So being out of pocket during that time, during this visa process, definitely affected the process. So that letter that I received this morning was denial of the application due to inactivity. Maybe around the time of the election, to take some of the pressure off of me, I went and got a lawyer. The lawyer said, hey, they could assist me in this. But during the time that we were away from the home, the government sent a letter that I never received, asking me about, the status of the case. So I wrote a letter saying that, yes, this is what happened. And that's the reason for the delay in the process. But that letter that arrived today, February the 12th, very harsh, very, very difficult for me to accept. I sent that letter maybe about a year ago. They didn't receive it. You can't really pin down who to send it to, where to send it. I was locked out of the account, so I couldn't upload it to the document section of the account. And I mean, it's driving me mad. I got this lawyer a few weeks ago. I took the evidence of there being a significant reason why I hadn't advanced in the visa process. All the lawyer had to do was send a document with the evidence that I gave to them. So now I'm on my way to the lawyer's office to find out what's going on. I mean, for me, this visa process is, my daughter is 9 years old. She hadn't seen her grandmother, hadn't touched the soil of the United States. Mother is not a United States citizen. so I could bring my daughter, but not bring my wife. How you get it every day? You just gotta keep grinding. Adversity builds character.